The biggest thing is just to tell me about you. Tell me what's important to you. What do you do on a daily basis? What is your job? What are you going to need from work from home? Or do you have pet? All of these things that just, what is your life? Because if I know more about what someone's lifestyle is, that helps me find them the best home possible. Remember that your home is still a financial investment, and how can you maximize that to your benefit is really important. And I think most people look to a realtor to, okay, I'm about to put my house on the market, now's the time to call them in and get a price opinion and go from there. But I think what you need to realize is it's important to have a relationship with an agent over the years so that you can identify things to improve the value of your home. Or maybe you're considering redoing your bathroom. Well, I'd be happy to come in and share ideas that might be appealing to the most people while still appealing to you. And so I think that by realizing that, by calling me in, I'm not going to be pressuring you to sell your home, but I want to work with you to identify, is this the right time? How can we maximize the most profit for you while still giving you the best situation possible? I think is important. So yeah, I guess realizing that I'm not there to push you. I want what's best for you. So
how did you get into, kind of combining in the conversation your real estate business and Two Shakes?
Yeah, it's such a good question. So I kind of fell into real estate, I'm going to be honest. I was going through a complete change in my career. I went to school for neuroscience. I wasn't going to med school. I wasn't going into a research field. So I thought, okay, maybe pharmaceutical sales. So I went into business-to-business sales for a while, which is just not for me. It's so impersonal. It's all business. It's all numbers. It's not what I'm used to and love. But I thought, but you know what, I am good at sales. I worked in retail management for a long time, and so I thought, what's a good way of kind of mixing those two things? And real estate was something I thought, now's the time. If I'm going to change my career and I'm going to try something new, let me try this. And I love it. I'll be honest, a love-hate relationship with it. I think most realtors would tell you that, but it's so cool to be a part of someone's life in such an important way. There is nothing more special and important to someone than home. It's one of those things that I think we take for granted a lot, and I look at it in terms of, this is not sales. It's really helping someone fill the need that they have, and sometimes they don't even know what that is. What's important to someone with their home can vary so much. So trying to help them identify what that need is and then point them in the right direction and help them get there is so huge. And then with Two Shakes, I have wanted really since I got into real estate to go about, renovating homes and fixing up homes and, living in Highbridge. I had seen, some sitting for quite some time, and really before the COVID market, it was so different. There were these homes that had been bank owned for a long time, or the house we bought here was bank owned at one time. And so I had for a while mentioned to Dane, okay, I think this would be something good for us. He has the carpentry experience and the skill set to be able to do it, and I have the vision along with that. And I think finally a couple years ago he was on board, and we started our first project on 513 and just continued on from there. So I think it just kind of works out together really well, and we're a great team together. So
that's really cool.
Yeah.
To be able to work with your spouse that way.
Yes. And I know a lot of people are like, I don't know how you do it. I'd kill him. I'm like, I can't pick. Like, to me, I would spend every waking minute with Dane. We're partners in that way. Do we fight? Of course, yes. But it's so, we just work well together, so we get each other. Like when people ask me, oh, well, what is Two Shakes? Yes, it's a flipping business. Our goal is to purchase a home and fix it up and to resell it. But I think what is missing with the understanding of that term is the love that we put into these homes. We don't look at it as we're trying to make every single penny and we're going to cut corners and we're going to do things the wrong way. It's really important to us to take the time and the expense to do everything right. We want that home to be as if we were living there. So, especially with old homes, it's important for us to bring out the character that exists in the home, but then allow it to become more modernly functional and and workable, because not every old home can fit today's standards. So I think it's an important mixture of the two.
You see yourself developing that instinct throughout your experience?
I think I sit with it. Like for instance, the house up the street or the one on 20 East Main, like we just sat with it for a while and we thought, how will this be the best version of itself? How can we make it the most functional we possibly can while still appealing to people that love old homes? And I think there's no perfect answer. Like with 20 East Main, it's similar to this house. It's a Victorian. There were a lot of rooms, and what's interesting is everyone was wanting like open floor plans and this kind of dream of like everything is out and beautiful and light and bright. And with that one, we chose to keep it still in and of itself in rooms, and keep it separated. And people realized, okay, this open floor plan is great in theory and if we're entertaining, but I need a home office where I can shut a door and not have, the kids or the dogs or whoever, breaking in all the time. So I think, homes just kind of go in cycles like that, but it's really just for us sitting with the house, spending time to think about how it would be the most functional and not just going in and ripping everything out and redoing it. We really want to, think about what's the best for it. I think what COVID did for us, just to start out, is just by identifying what's really truly important to us, and whether that's home-based or whether that's lifestyle-based or whatever that was, people changed what was important to them. And we saw in our area a lot of people that were moving from east of here, whether it was New York City or just eastern New Jersey or places that were a little bit more built up and a lot more people, and maybe they were living in a small apartment and relying on the amenities that the community provided, whether it was a pool or a gym or all of those things that they no longer had. And they realized, okay, well now I'm stuck in this little space and I want the healthier environment and I want the yard and I want, the in-ground pool. Oh my gosh, like homes fly off the shelves with in-ground pools, which is amazing because years ago they didn't.
Could you talk a little bit about your award that you received recently and your ranking, and what it was like finding out about that? And
but yeah, so I'm the top 7% of Coldwell Banker agents all across the world, which is so ridiculous. That is so crazy to think about, and it's huge. And then I was also awarded the Gold Circle of Excellence level, which is something I had been striving for so many years, and this year I achieved it. And I just only have my clients to thank. I really feel like over time I've built my business based on mostly referral and word of mouth, and that's huge to me. So so thank you, clients. I do think too, a lot of people don't look at real estate as a small business. And I think I really appreciate you guys doing this today, because it is, real estate is me. I am my own business. Yes, I'm affiliated with Coldwell Banker, but I'm an independent contractor. And if I don't go to work for a week, that's a lot of business that I would miss out on and not have that moving forward. And if I don't keep going, my business will die. And I just appreciate so much everyone that continues to refer me out and work with me. And it's a partnership, and I really do feel that what I bring to my clients is that personal approach. And I think that with there being so many newcomers from the town, I think it's important to highlight that we have new people that want to become a part of the community and only help it more. And we have a great mixture of people that have been in, around living in town for generations. And I just think what makes us so special is that we're able to merge that. Highbridge is definitely the center of my work, and I think in part because we do live here and this is our community, and seeing the homes that had been sitting there for so long and wanting to make them better because we're making our community better. I think that's really important to us. We're also really drawn to the old homes that do exist here in Highbridge, and of course we ended up finding the perfect house in Highbridge, and it's become our home and our community, and we care so much about it. And over the years, we're both very introverted, but we're trying to become more a part of the community and try to give back to what it's given us. So,
what do you tell them about the community?
That it is a community. I mean, that's really the biggest thing. It is not just a home. It is not just the four walls that you're going to be living in. You are joining a place where people will talk with you when you're out on the street walking your dog. You can just, someone will have a conversation with you when you're in Scouts one day, and you'll learn so much about them, and you'll just really feel like you're part of something. And I think that's missing for a lot of towns, especially as they grow. So having that here and just being able to, in a small town, be part of something and seeing the direct change from that and having it grow is so cool.